Welcome to the second video of Understanding Human Psychology. In this video, we will understand sensation and perception. So, in order to understand sensation and perception, we are going to understand three different things. Number one is the anatomy of sensation and perception. How does the whole physical sensation perception happens? Number three is what are the type of sensation is in this human body, and number three is what are the factors that might influence perception of your product or business to other people, your customer or in general people. Okay, so first let's understand the biology or the anatomy of sensation. So let's say I got this watch. All right, I'm looking at this watch and I see, okay, this is a very nice watch. This is a black color branded watch. So what's happening is when I look at this watch is a light wave hits on the watch and goes through my retina, right? So a light wave is, this is a stimulus. The first step is stimulus. I look at the stimulus, a light wave goes through my receptors, my eyes, goes to my brain. When it's going to my brain, transduction happened. What transduction is? This light wave become converted to, this light wave converted to electrical signal. Because in the last video in the brain we have read that your brain has neurons and neurons only understand electrical signal. They don't understand light wave or sound wave or radio wave, anything else. They only understand electrical signal. So this light wave goes through my retina, become an electrical signal in my brain, and part of my brain analyzes that information and decides, Mozammel, you are looking at a watch. Okay, very simple. Similarly with touch. When you are doing a touch, air molecule is going from that product through your nose. This is the reception, the product that you are smelling, that is the stimulus, reception happening, and it gets converted into a electrical signal through the transduction, and your brain then understand, okay, I smell something really nice, I smell something sweet, I smell something that is rotten, and tells you what about this product. So we understood the first part, the anatomy of sensation. Now let's understand the second part. Now for the second part, you have to understand that what are the type of sensation a human being can have. There are 9 types of sensation a human being can have. Number one is sight, or the visual sensation that we get through our eyes. Number 2 is auditory, or hearing we get through our ear. Number 3 is olfactory, or smell we get through our nose. Number 4 is gustatory, means taste, whatever we taste, right? That is also a sensation. Number 5 is somatosensory, basically touch. Whenever we are touching something, our body or anything else, that is a sensation we are receiving. Okay, what does it touch like? What does it feel like? That is a somatosensory sensation. Then there is a vestibular sensation, which is basically balance of human being, right? So in your ear there is this liquid that makes sure that you are balancing it right. Like when you spin your head really fast, this liquid in the ear that gets like waved, and then you suddenly lose the balance and you try to balance it out. All right, so that is also a sensation. Then you got proprioception, or your body position, like if you you feel like if you are leaned or if you are coming in front, that feelings of which how is your body is, that's controlled through proprioception. That is your body position sensation. Then your body got thermoception. Then your body got thermoception sensation. So basically, what is the temperature right now? You can feel that, right? Right now I am feeling a bit cold, so that is my temperature feeling sensation. All right. And then at the end there is this pain sensation, like if I get hurt, I understand, okay, I'm getting hurt. There is one thing is touch, another thing is getting hurt. There is 2 different types of sensation. So these are the 9 type of sensation a human being can have. In our first example, we looked at a watch, and from the 9 type of sensation, that is a visual sensation. We looked at it, we understood this is a watch. However, if I look at the watch today, I feel like, okay, this is a very nice watch, very costly one. So I feel I perceive the watch as being costly. But maybe 1 year from now, I will be in a state of mind where I'm going to look at this watch and I'm going to think, okay, this is a very cheap watch. Or maybe something gonna happen to the brand of this watch and I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna feel, oh, this is a very antique watch. Or I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna feel like, okay, I don't wanna be associated with this watch. The watch remains the same, all the information that I'm taking remains the same. However, based on different factors, maybe I'm gonna perceive this watch differently. So what are those factors based on which individuals actually perceive something? The first factor that actually influences is the context, right? What is the environment when I'm seeing the watch? What is the time or sequence of event when I'm seeing the watch? And what is the situation when I'm seeing the watch? So like if I look at this watch sitting in a very posh restaurant and on the side like they have all those watches and I look at this watch, I'm gonna feel like this is a very classy watch, right? And at the same time, the same watch, if I look at on the roadside, there is this store and he's hanging this watch, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to think, this does not look very good. The watch remains the same, but the context changed, perceiving this thing differently. So that is how the sensation remains the same, but the perceptions changed based on the context. Number two is attention. Is it a selective attention? Is it automatic attention? Is it a vested attention? Like if I look at this watch and whoever trying to sell me this watch, he makes sure that I pay a lot of attention to the watch, maybe I will slowly think about, okay, the color looks nice and everything. But if the person who is trying to sell this watch fails to grab my attention, I'm going to look at the watch on passing by and I'm not going to think much about it. Even though my sensation worked, I looked at the watch and it actually went through my brain, I know I looked at a watch, but just because I did not pay enough attention, that's why I'm not perceiving it the way the person who is trying to sell it wanted to me. But if he can capture my attention, capture my active attention, not my passive attention or automated attention, capture my active attention, I'm going to look at the watch and I'm going to perceive it like, okay, this is a very nice watch. Based on the context from the first point and attention from the second point, I'm going to perceive this product differently. Number three is prior knowledge and expectation. See, I have saw a lot of watch over my life. So when I look at a watch like this and based on the brand that I know from my prior knowledge and I expect this watch to be very nice watch. So I'm going to take the watch and I'm going to feel it like, hey, this is a very nice watch. Why? Because I have a prior knowledge of it. But if I didn't have any prior knowledge of it, I'm going to take this watch and I'm going to think like, is it a good watch? Is it a bad watch? So if I had prior knowledge of this watch and expectation, what I am going to expect from this watch, that's going to shape my perception about it. If I know that this brand does not make any good product, even though it might be a very good product, considering that I know that this brand never makes any good product, I'm going to look at this watch and I'm going to feel like, hey, this is a very trashy watch, man. I'm not going to spend that much money on it. So the prior knowledge we have and the expectation we have of something, that changes how we perceive something. Despite whatever we look and we touch, our prior knowledge and our expectation actually shapes the way we perceive it. And then in the last, there is two different points. One is our cultural and social context, and then on the number 5, we have our physical and mental state. Like as we spoken earlier, if as a society, like if I belong to a culture where we look at hand watch or wrist watch as something that is only worn by very lame kind of people, despite this being a very nice watch, I'm going to perceive it as a lame product because my social context, my community context is different. So whatever the product is, that has to fit in my community context, in my social context, to a rank that the seller wants to think of me as. And then there is my physical and mental state. Like so, you have bought me a really nice watch, but I'm very tired and my mental state is very pissed off. I'm gonna look at this watch and I'm gonna say this is a very shitty watch. Despite the watch being very nice, just because of my mental and physical state, I'm gonna look at it differently. So whenever we are trying to bring a product, we have to make sure that our customer is in the right physical and mental state, the product is in the right social context, and it has the right context on environmental and the past knowledge is covered up. So if we can have all those factors set up right and we can decide like what are the sensory information that I'm going to pass, like the visual, definitely the touch and feel, definitely does it hurt, it might not, what is the temperature, what is the balance, and every other sensation that we learned prior. So if we can cover all of the sensation and all the context, that's when we can actually build a brand or build a product, build a business that is more on the human level, connected to connected to people, and that is one way of thinking about business strategy. Anyway, so this is the sensation and perception of human being. This was our second uh, video of psychology. We started with brain and now we are in sensation and perception. On the next one we are going to learn about consciousness. Thank you everyone.